The Wall Street Journal did some pretty good investigative reporting into Donald Trump's finances and businesses throughout the world and how it could serve as a little bit of a problem once he is commander-in-chief. Now, Donald Trump in the past had noted that he is about $315 million in debt due to all of his businesses. However, according to this investigation, the Wall Street Journal found that he actually owes an additional $1.5 billion to companies that are partly owned by the billionaire. Now, what does it mean that he's partly owner or part owner of these companies? That means that he owns at least 30% of these companies. And so as a result, they determined that he actually owes $1.8 billion to various financial organizations throughout the world because of his businesses. Now, Lawrence Noble, a former lawyer of the Federal Election Commission, said, "The appearance of potential conflicts is dangerous and seriously exists in this situation." So what does that mean? Look, if you are the leader of the United States and you're dealing with, let's say, a bank like Wells Fargo, and the government is currently investigating Wells Fargo for, I don't know, opening up millions of bank accounts without letting the consumers know, well, what is the president likely to do if he owes money to that bank? He's likely to, I don't know, maybe brush it under the rug, maybe give him a pass.
Especially if he gets a deal from Wells Fargo. That's why we got to know. So that's why Trump saying conflict of interest doesn't matter is preposterous. It's never mattered more than now. And I want to be clear, it doesn't mean that Trump is down $1.8 billion in his life. He has borrowed that money, but he has other assets. And so you might borrow some money, in your case, maybe to buy a house or to buy a car. In his case, to buy real estate, property, buildings, golf courses. Now, you can make more money off of that property, but still have that loan that's outstanding, whether it's a business completely owned by you or at least a minority share in a business. But think about this. There's 150 institutions that he owes money to, with a lot of different business dealings where he could catch a break if they caught a break. Now, some of them are American companies like Wells Fargo that are already under investigation. Then there's the big banks like JP Morgan, BlackRock, Deutsche Bank, which is, of course, a foreign bank, and Prudential. But there's also the Bank of China. So now, look, luckily he's already very antagonistic with China. I don't know that that's a lucky thing. But so far, to be fair, he has not shown any conflict of interest with China.
Right.
But, you know, I don't want you to cross your fingers too hard, right? I mean, let's see what happens here as it goes. But what we do need to do is to have some degree of accountability here. Now, what other presidents would do and have all done is put all their assets in a blind trust so they don't know if they owe money to or have assets in Bank of China, Deutsche Bank. They don't know if they should be, lean in favor of the Germans or the Chinese or whoever else. But Trump won't do that. He absolutely refused to do that. So then we need even more accountability to make sure that he's not cheating on his own behalf and against the interests of the American people.
I feel like at this point it would be unavoidable for him to cheat and do things in his best interest, even if he put these businesses in some sort of, or accounts into some sort of blind trust. I mean, he knows that these are his businesses at the end of the day, right? And so another thing to keep in mind is, okay, maybe he wants good deals for himself and his own businesses, maybe better interest rates for the loans that he's going to get or did get in the past, but also regulation, right? One of the things that was a selling point for the anti-establishment candidates during the election, whether it be Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders, both very different, was, okay, well, Wall Street, they're running amok. We need to do something. We can't elect someone like Crooked Hillary because they're in her pocket, right? Well, you think he's going to go for stricter regulations of, banks or organizations that he wants favors from?
So here's how one thing could play out. It hasn't played out this way yet. But so he knows that a company that he's partnered with has a giant debt that they owe together to the Bank of China. He says, hey, China, I don't know, maybe I don't agree with your one China policy, and maybe I want to have a relationship with Taiwan. And then the Bank of China goes, you know what, not with Trump, but with the majority stakeholder of that loan, maybe I knock down your interest rate by 2%. Or I do some other condition that is favorable to you by millions, maybe billions of dollars, right? And then Trump goes, well, look at that. It turns out one China policy does make sense. Don't worry about Taiwan. Hey, did I negotiate? Was I making a deal? Was that the art of a deal? I don't know. I guess you'll never find out. So this is deeply problematic. So let's see how it plays out. But it is so important that the media keep an eye on this because there is a lot of self-dealing that could happen here. You're at the end of this video, so the Young Turks is over. Wrong! The Young Turks is just beginning. Membership gives you the full 2-hour show, plus all of our member shows, old school, aggressive, progressive, TYT postgame every single day. Join and come and see how great membership is. tytnetwork.com/join.